What is up, everybody? It's your favorite Martian, Squid, back with another video, and this is kind of a follow-up to the previous video I made, and it's actually going to be part one of two parts that I'm doing. And what I want to talk about today is the worst shonen character designs. And I'm not doing it the way that you might assume. I'm sorry, but I thought this would be more interesting. What I'm going to be doing is instead of just picking the worst forms in all of shonen, I'm restricting it to main characters, because if I went with side characters, there'd be like literally tens of thousands that I'd have to go through. And I want to I want to talk about the most relevant character from each series, which in shonen is obviously the main character. So, rather than just the worst form, like top 10 worst forms in shonen, what I've decided to do is take a bunch of shonen characters that I either personally really like from series that I personally really like, or from popular series, and I've decided to take their main characters and rate their specific worst forms. Now, some characters on this list only have a base form, so by default, that makes it their worst form. So don't come after me for a couple of these. It is by default their best and worst form if they only have one. And this list is 100% just my opinion. I'm not the be-all, end-all of character design. I don't really do character design myself anymore, so if you disagree with my list, feel free to let me know. Leave a comment. Be as mean as you want or as nice as you want. It really does not matter to me. I'm going to cry at the end of the day anyway. So, starting off, we have Naruto. And I personally believe that Naruto's worst form by far is his Boruto base form, his adult Hokage base form in Boruto. I mean, look at how they massacred my boy. His face is so lifeless. His eyes are dead. He has no will to live anymore, I feel like. His hair is whack. His face is whack. His outfit is just a worse version of his previous outfit. Everything about this I don't like in context of Naruto. I think it is by far his worst form. Oh, side note, I forgot to mention this at the start of the video. I'm going to be rating these on a scale of 1 to 10. So, Naruto's Boruto base form gets, I'm going to be pretty harsh here. It gets a 3 out of 10 from me, because I know Naruto can be much better than this. Next up, we have probably my favorite battle shonen of all time, at least top 3 in Bleach, and that is Ichigo, obviously. And in my opinion, his worst form by far is his Fullbring, just base form, when he's just a Fullbringer. I do not like this form. I realize what they were going for. It's like visually a melding of Hollow and Shinigami with the black underneath. He's like a zebra, right? He's black underneath with white on top. However, that being said, the shit he's got across his face, I do not like. His short sword, I do not like. I don't like that his sword has the what is it called? The substitute Shinigami badge as the hilt. I'm not a fan of this, which is funny because my favorite Ichigo form actually comes from this arc. I think this is his worst form by far. I do not like it, so I'm rating it a 4 out of 10. It's still decent. Well, no, it's not actually. It's slightly below average, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a Bleach design, so it's not the worst, but I do not like this form at all. Okay, next up, we have Luffy from One Piece, and I have not seen One Piece, and I am biased against One Piece visuals. The reason I haven't seen One Piece is because when I look at One Piece, I want to vomit. Nothing against the story, but I really just can't stand the visuals. So I'm going to be giving it to Luffy pretty hard here. The color palette, the blue, yellow, and red, not a fan of. I like the scar across his chest, but I don't like how skinny he is. I don't like his horrifying round eyes. His hat's okay. I know that, it's like what his pirates are named after. His hat's fine. It's probably my favorite part of his design other than that chest scar. But I'm giving him literally a 2 out of 10. Oh yeah, by the way, if some of these images have like the fake PNG background, that like grid pattern background, I'm sorry. Google is a liar and will tell you something's a PNG with a transparent background, and it just won't be. But without further ado, our next character is Issei from Highschool DxD in his just base form, and he's just a person. I mean, he's got like the look of a person in anime. That being said, his hairstyle is fucking abysmal. I hate Issei's hairstyle, and I remember when I was watching Highschool DxD, I was like, please, dear God, let him go through some sort of time skip or makeover or something so that that hair goes away, and it literally never does. So that is by far the biggest thing that he is losing points for. Other than that, he's got the school uniform. It looks okay. He's got the shoes, tiny bit of drip. That's cool. But he's getting like 5 out of 10, perfectly average. He'd be like a 6 out of 10 if it wasn't for that god-awful hair. So next up, I think this one might be a little bit controversial. Hunter x Hunter gone in his adult form. I am very uncomfortable by this. The one thing I will give it, the credit, I will give credit where credit's due. He does have a nice bod, right? He's got decent muscle mass. He's not too skinny. You can tell he definitely does not skip leg day, which props to him. But like, I think it's a combination of the hair, and in this image you can't really see it, but his hair goes like all the way up to the sky. He has like infinity hair that goes straight up. I don't like that. That, yeah, I think looks very bad. And I think the main thing, though, that makes me uncomfortable is the fact that he's an adult, like 7 foot tall man who's wearing baby clothes, because Gon normally is like 3 feet tall. So I just don't like it. Makes me uncomfortable. This is like, I'm going to say a 4 out of 10. I would have said 5, but I just, looking at this, I don't like it. So 4 out of 10. So next up, we have an anime that I actually very much despise. I think it's trash garbage, and it's Fairy Tail, Natsu from Fairy Tail. That being said, I think his worst form is his base form, and it's still pretty damn good. I really like this form a lot. I only have one single problem with it, which I'll get to, but I like, he's got the fun pink hair, he's exposing the arms, that's cool. I like the scarf, I like the tattoo, I like every single thing about it, except for his shoes. My guy, get better shoes. Those are gross, those are ugly. So I'm giving him like a 7.5 out of 10, and he would be like a 9 for me, honestly, if he wasn't showing so much feet. This will be a through line. I'm sure that shoes are like a big thing for me, and if he had better shoes, he'd be a literal 9 out of 10. He'd be almost perfect, but I cannot stand that. So he's dropping down to like a 7.5. Okay, next up we have what I am calling Shinra Fatigue form, and why I'm calling it that is because I mean, to me it would be like military fatigues. I don't know what firefighters call their casual wear, but that's what he's in. He's in like his casual uniform when he's not out fighting fires, but he is still on duty, and it's this orange jumpsuit. And first of all, this does not fit him at all. You gotta, they say dress for the body you have, not the body you want. He's doing like the opposite of that, where he's dressing as if he's like 35% fatter than he is. His clothes don't fit. It's a combination of they're too big, and also he has like the sleeves rolled up, which makes him look even bigger. The collar is popped. It looks bad. But the main thing is, my guy, I realize that your feet have fire coming out of them, so you would just burn through shoes, but at least be wearing shoes anyways. Do what I want, not what you need to do. Also, the whole monochromatic thing, I would appreciate this a lot more if there were more colors tied in, but he's like a 3 out of 10, showing too much foot, and the jumpsuit doesn't fit well, and it's too big. So next up, we have Attack on Titan and Eren, obviously, and what I think is his worst form personally is like his early scout base form. It's fine. Honestly, I think it is his worst form, but I don't actually think it's that bad. The only thing that you could really complain about with Eren's design is that he's pretty plain for a shonen protagonist. I mean, nothing is outright bad. I mean, the knee-high boots, wow, that sure is quite a choice. And then I don't know what it would be called. I have literally no idea for what is going on with his hips. He's got like a sash under his belt. I don't know. I've literally never seen anyone wear that in real life, so I have no idea what it's called. But really, the only two things about him that you could say, in my opinion, that are bad are he's a little bit plain for a shonen protagonist, and then he's got the weird V-neck shirt cut. Don't like that. So he's like He's like a 5 out of 10. He's like perfectly average. Nothing too bad, nothing too egregious, but also nothing that stands out. So next up, we have Edward from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I think this is from Brotherhood. And this may shock you guys because obviously I'm well known at this point for not liking Brotherhood that much. I don't think it deserves even close to the overall rating it has. That being said, this boy do have some drip though. I like the boots that he's wearing. The red, white, and black is a pretty solid color. His hair looks good. IMO. I mean, it's fine. And the only complaint I have about his base form is that it doesn't show off his coolest feature, which is that he has a metal arm. But overall, again, there's like nothing to fault about this, except it does pop a little bit more than Eren. So I'm giving him like a 6 out of 10, which is ironically the same rating that I give the series he's from, a 6 out of 10. All right, next up we have one that is absolutely, I mean, it was genuinely when I was making that video that inspired this one that was about the worst form in shonen, this next form was a contender, and that is Midoriya's original full costume form. And my God, do I hate this. Like, this looks awful. The fucking weird, like, I know they're not supposed to be ears. They're supposed to emulate All Might's, like, hair situation, but they come across as just ears on account of they're not hair. The eye holes, ugh, the weird face thing. I hate this. I absolutely cannot stand it. I hate the like elbow and knee pads. He looks like a rollerblader. This is awful. Like straight up 2 out of 10, damn near a 1 out of 10 if it wasn't a nice color. So next up we have another situation of this is a character whose base form is like really their only form. So by default it's their worst, and that is Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, and I'm telling you right now, he's getting a very high rating. I love this form. I love the box on the back. I love the earrings. I love the scar on the forehead. I love the hair. I love the coat is by far my favorite part. The checkerboard pattern of like, is that seafoam green? That's more of like a mint green. To me, at least, in this image, that looks like mint green and black. And then the uniform underneath with the white belt. And then the shoes, I forget what those are called. I've had to wear them before, but I don't remember what they're called. And then the like wrapping he's doing at the bottom of his pants, which is, I guess, the old-timey Japanese way of tucking your pants in, maybe? This is literally a 9 out of 10 for me. And I will tell you, oh, another thing is the collar. He's got like almost that cool, I don't know anything about religion, but like priest thing, bishop, padre, whatever guys have that cool like white collar on the black shirt. He's almost got that kind of thing going on. So he's getting 9 out of 10. And I'll tell you, the only thing that he's lacking is height. He's an, oh yeah, and then did I already say the box on the back? I do really like the way the box on his back looks. Anyways, his height is his only downside, and the fact that he is, I mean, he's a kid, I'll give it to him, but I don't care. He's an absolute manlet. He looks like he's 3 feet tall. That's the only downside to this design, though. 9 out of 10, mwah, best. Speaking of manlets, we have another one with Meliodas, and I'm saying that his worst form, in my opinion, is his base form from Season 1. And oh boy, there's a lot we got to talk about. Again, with the whole dress for the body you have, not the body you want thing, it's really weird because it's like he's wearing shorts or maybe capris because they're like bunched up a little. So I guess we'll say capris. And they seem to fit, like they're the right size. However, his shirt and vest are like way too big. Like it's like he stole them from an actual adult human. So the clothes don't fit. But by far the most whack thing about him is those shoes. My guy, what the fuck are those? Like, you're an asshole if you pop your collar, right? What does it mean if you put collars on your shoes to pop? Like, what the hell is that? I don't really like this form. He's too short, his clothes don't fit, and his shoes suck ass. I'm gonna give him like a 3 out of 10, I think. All right, next up we have Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen, and this picture is a terrible pose, but I'm not going to hold that against him. He's got he's pretty average. Like, he's not super flashy in his design, but he does have a couple little nuances that bump him up to my rating, which is a 6 out of 10, and I will explain why. One, I like his haircut. He actually has like a closer to modern day real haircut than a lot of people in on this list have just whack ass hair. I like the color scheme. It's questionable if it's supposed to be. I'm not a huge Jujutsu Kaisen super fan, so I don't really remember. But I don't know if this is supposed to be black, and they just didn't do that because it would look weird in the episodes, or if this is supposed to be this really dark, like navy blue. But either way, I like it. I like the red. Red is a classic. The shoes, he's got our best shoes so far. I like the uniform. I like the way it fits. Very nice. And finally, from Gintama, we have Gintoki's just this is just how he is. And I'm telling you right now that he is similar to some previous entrants where, like, he would be much, much higher if it wasn't for a couple things. One, if the biggest one is the fact that he's got his collar, and I believe on his sleeve he's got like red accents. And normally red is pretty cool, but the best thing about his design, in my opinion, is the fact that he's got this nice blue color. And so if the detailing on his black shirt was that same blue that's on his, I think that's a kimono. If it was the same blue that was on his kimono, he would go up a lot. And the other thing is that he has a wooden sword, and wooden swords are not very cool. I mean, it's cool in the context of what Gintoki does with it, but it doesn't look that good. And the other thing are his shoes. I don't really know if you can see this well in this picture, but he's wearing like just boots, and they do have a strap-like thing on them, and I think if you change that to be the same blue as well, so change the collar and the sleeve accent to be the same blue as his kimono, and then give his boots some accents as well, and then he immediately goes up to like a 9 or a 10. As he is right now, though, I'm gonna give him like a light 7, bordering on a 6.5, but a 7. So there you go. Those are all the forms I picked out for this video. Let me know what you think. Again, like I said, let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you want to kill me, whatever. I will be doing a part 2 to this video eventually, probably sometime in the next couple weeks, of rating what I think the best forms in shonen are. So I guess look forward to that if you like things that are good instead of things that are bad. As always, I love you guys, and please show this video to your grandma. Goodbye.